Hello, TheLadyKeziah here. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do so. After working with people for nearly 2 decades, I've come to the realization that it doesn't matter what is happening in the general world out there. It doesn't matter the fact that we live in a world that is always on. You and I have the capacity to choose a world we want to live in, and that world will facilitate everything that happens to us in this life. So in this video, I'm going to present to you 4 worlds, and you can decide at the end of the video which world you are living in now. The first world is the world around you. As a human being, the world around you. When you are living in the cultural and traditional settings, the beliefs and paradigms of society and religion, the injunctive norms placed on you as a human being. You are trapped in the norms that tell you how society and religion thinks you should behave in certain situations, just because you're a man, just because you're a woman. I call this the victim stage, where life only happens to you. It looks like you don't have control. You are just living without any control. You can blame everybody. For the women, they will be blaming the fathers. They will be blaming the men they married. They will be blaming everybody who was supposed to have supported and assisted them. And even the men. If I had a father who well educated me, if I had somebody support my business, if I had this happening for me, it is just a victim stage. I used to think it's people who are not privileged enough to be well educated that are trapped in these injunctive norms. But I've come to realize that no, not at all. There are people well educated and still trapped in this conventional way of life. There are people financially solvent and still trapped in this conventional way of living the beliefs, ideas, and opinions of other people, trying to fit in and appease everybody. You are prone to a form of peer pressure called tradition. Peer pressure handed down to you by people you never want to live their life. People who never live the dream you want to live. They have handed over these beliefs and paradigms to you. You know that pluralistic ignorance, where everybody is keeping to their true self because you are forced to live to a particular way. You are forced to give in to something that is even against your values as an individual human being, but you think that is the way everybody has agreed to live. The world around you. Number 1. Are you trapped in here where you are not living your true self? People see you and they think you are great, you are huge out there. This is where people come with all the accolades. They can put up the public facade of being successful in their careers, successful in their relationships, and yet their souls are bleeding because they know they are not living the authentic selves. The world around you, that is the first world. Sadly enough, research indicates that greater percentage of people live in this world and die there. Number 2 is the world you choose. What I call the awakening. All of a sudden you have the awareness and start to realize that no, I don't want to live in the world around me anymore. I don't want to live like everybody else anymore. I don't want to fit in. I am made to stand out. I can fit in. So this community is amazing. This life is awesome. People see you and think you are great, you are awesome, but your soul is beckoning, telling you that this is not the life you were ordained to live. So now you want to choose your own life. the world you want to experience, a world you want to express on your own terms. You now set your own goals, not goals handed down to you by religion and society. You explore the power of intentions. All of a sudden, you become aware that you can shift the world. You don't do things haphazardly anymore. Purpose take over pleasure. When everybody is thinking of pleasure, you are living a purposeful life. You live intentionally and deliberately. A lot of things that excited you in the past do not bring you any excitement anymore. You don't have interest in the things you used to be so much excited about, because it's no more about pleasure, it's about purpose. You have decided to choose a life, a world you want to live in. No more the world around you and everybody else's expectation of you. You want to live as you, the real you God created you to live, move, and have your being. Number 3 is the world inside you. When you are living in the world around you, everything is normal to you. When the awakening happens to you and you choose the world you want to live in, and you begin working on yourself in that world, you realize all along there was a world inside you bubbling, but you never had. You never realized, because you are trying to fit in. You are afraid to stand out. So you never realized that there was a world inside you. So the number 3 world is the world inside you. When you are able to move away from the world around you, identify and choose your world, then you realize that there is a world inside you, and it has been inside you all this while. This is the point you need to recode yourself. You become aware that your thought can create your reality. So you don't think of all those nonsense anymore. That is when you start going beyond conventional modalities, questioning your beliefs and paradigms. Why do I do the things I do? Why do I think this way? Is it based on my value and beliefs as a human being, or they were handed down to me? Did you grow up realizing that this is the way you are living without even understanding it? Or you realize there's a higher version of yourself out there that has been crying, calling out to you all this while? So when you want to, the world inside you propels you to now begin to question your beliefs and your paradigms. You find out whether those beliefs and paradigms were derived out of your values as a human being, or they were handed down to you. You fully understand that there is a world inside you, and you constantly reshape and recuperate this world inside you. Always learning, relearning, and unlearning. This is the point it feels like you have an invisible hand guiding you through. But in order to fully utilize this invisible hand, you would have to develop and deploy that world inside of you. Sometimes people get to this level or this world, and it looks like they are making a lot of mistakes. It is not mistakes after all. When you get into the realization that yes, it was just because you are evolving. When you are living in the world around you, you are not able to be your true and authentic self. So now that you've realized you've chosen your own world, and the world inside of you has been able to come out, and you are living it, experience it, and expressing it, it looks like you are making mistakes. They aren't mistakes. They are part of your growth, your learning curves. But even if they are mistakes, I call these mistakes beautiful disruptions. Why? When the dust settles, you become so happy about being bold, being ambitious, and being unconventional in choosing a world and allowing the world inside of you to emerge. This is the point that your soul and spirit will be searching for something higher than yourself. It is no more just about your family and yourself. You want to live such that your life will profit other people in this world. So regardless of what is happening in the world out there with so much noise, you realize that when the world inside of you, you allow it to be expressed and you experience it, you realize that life is calming and soothing. You don't compare yourself to other people, that unhealthy comparison. Your only competition is the better version of yourself. That is when you live on your own terms, not trying to appease, not trying to fit in, not trying to please everybody and anybody. This is a world where you don't accept mediocrity anymore. So you look at a lot of things, wink and just march on. This is the point you realize you don't have the luxury of time to waste anymore. So it's no more about pleasure, it's about purpose. This is the place you want to live your true self without being apologetic to anybody. Society and religion can throw anything at you, but you realize there is a higher purpose than just fitting in. This is the place and the world that you are not afraid to stand out. This is a world that you want to be your authentic self. That whatever everybody says or whatever anybody throws at you, you see them as distraction. You are so purposeful, you don't have time to fight unnecessary battles. And then the fourth world is the world you can change. A beautiful world. Once you are able to bring to birth the world inside of you, you now pick the world you can change. You become extraordinary. Unfortunately, research indicates that it's only 1% of the whole world that can operate in this level. 1%. These are the most fulfilled, the most expressed, who truly changing the world. They are changing the world. But until you go through all these three worlds and you move away from all the traps and all the injunctive norms placed on you, and you begin questioning your beliefs and paradigms, you can't get to the world you can change. And a lot of people have settled. To them, life is just about their families, so they are okay. If you want to live a purposeful life, you can live in those three worlds. And if you can take 1% of the world to get there, why not you and I? Why not you and I? This is the domain of the supernatural, as the religious folk will call it. Some call it magic. Others call it miracles. It is no more about you or your family. It is no more about your comforts. Your personal goals become an institution. You are guided through this life. You know the third world, where it looks like an invisible hand is guiding you. This is where you see the fullness of that invisible hand. You are guided through life by a supreme force. Your inspiration leads to intentions. In short, your goals are coming from a higher power through you and manifesting in the general world. Your light shines and brightens the path of many others. You become an institution other people would want to research into it. An amazing thing that happens to people at this level is they are problem solvers. Whatever problem they encounter, they solve it. Wherever they go, they effect changes. They think of how to influence and impact others. They don't live for themselves anymore. And beautiful things begin to happen to them at this level. There is connectedness, a sense of unity and consciousness with the whole world. They feel the pain of other people. That is when you can walk to a place and you're so connected to the pain of other people. You are not boxed into an identity that says you are a particular religion, a particular race, a particular color. Your kindness and compassion do not extend to people within any category. As long as there are human beings around them, you want to help, you want to serve. You don't take positions and toy with them. Every privilege you get to serve humanity, you give it your best shot. All life matters to you. All life. As you connect, deeper intuition is birth. Number 2, you are tapped into intuition. In this world and at this level, intuition is constantly speaking to you. Ideas just dropped to you. Ideas flow effortlessly. You are in hyper creation, which leads to an inspired action. You go to bed and sleep of ideas. You are just thinking of something and ideas, how to do them just drop. Because the universe, our God in heaven, has realized that anything that happens for you, greater percentage of people will profit from it also. So you have inspired action in this world and at this level. Inspired goals are important to you than lifestyles. These goals are coming from the universe. You sit at places with people, you are conversing, everybody is laughing, and you are picking ideas, picking revelations. The universe is whispering on your ears what to create next. You report to a higher boss who is paving the way and perpetually blessed. This is the level that you think you are lucky. We see such people and we think they are lucky. They are living in luck. It's not luck. They've been able to go through all these 3 worlds. You have no idea how it is to move from even the world around you to the world you choose. So for somebody to move into a world they can change, everything is supposed to work on your favor. So you and I see them when we think they are in luck. They have already paid their price. You live as if by magic. Things are just happening for you. Luck is on your side. You are blessed beyond measure. And the beautiful thing also about this world and this level is about your thought processes. There's bliss. You find great joy in what you do. That is when your work becomes your hobby. So you are living a purposeful life and you are still finding pleasure in what you are doing. Your work is like a play to you. Work and play become one. There is immunity to overwhelm. You develop the ability to handle multiple projects at the same time. Stress and anxiety do not touch you. Somebody might ask, at this level, don't they experience the pain and all the things we go through? They do. They cry. People betray them. Everything happening to us equally happened to people in this world and in this level. But the beautiful thing about this level is you have the awareness within you that you are able to create the inner peace regardless of what is thrown at you. So you can cry and the next minute you are coming out powerfully and strong. You can focus on several things simultaneously. Your relationships become beautiful. Every single relationship in your life becomes a win-win. Because at this level, you are supercharged. You don't just take from people, you feel them. So people also find way on their own accord to equally fill you up. You have no hard feelings about anything anymore. Anything that happens to you, you don't take it personal. Anyone can disappear from your life anytime, and you still feel great, unemotional, blissful, and unshaking. At this level, when you love deeply, but you know when to let go of it also. When you want to give your all, but you know when to withhold that giving also. It is a beautiful place. And this is where people get to, and they are untouchable. They are unshaking. It is a beautiful world. But just like I said, research indicates that it's only 1% that are able to get to this world. What makes this 1% superhuman? Can you and I equally get there? Some of us are on a quest. Will you join that quest? Which of these 4 worlds do you live in, my dear one? Are you enjoying that world? How has that world benefited, influenced your life positively? Would you recommend that world to somebody else? If not, then it means there is more in you, and you would have to upgrade yourself into the next available world. This is a world you get into that you realize that life is not as complicated as the whole world is thinking. You can have your own calm and soothing. Regardless of the world that is on out there, you can still have your calming and soothing world if only you allow the world inside of you to emerge into the world you can change. If only you can move away from the world around you, where everybody wants to. If God wanted all of us to live the same, what was the need and the use of creating different capabilities, giftings, and abilities? Why do you want to live like everybody else? Why have you accepted injunctive norms? Why have you accepted beliefs and paradigms that are handed down to you by people you never want to end like they have ended? I've presented to you 4 worlds. I want to believe by now you've been able to determine the world you live in. Share your experiences in that world so other people can equally learn in the comment section. Till I come your way again, own your life and live on your own terms. Life is not supposed to be this complicated. We have brought it upon ourselves, and we are capable of moving away from all these complications. Much love and blessings. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel.